Now, I know I've been talking a lot about cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin and Litecoin and all these coins, but don't take your eye off of gold and silver. Don't think they're no longer worthy. No, 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 no. Because again, we still got fundamentals that prove gold and silver are something to be had. And we've got countries buying up gold and silver out of control. And then we have banks like JP Morgan who are actually net long on paper futures contracts, gold, COMEX gold. Which is interesting. Which is why I'm doing this video, because something interesting came out. And it appears from TF Metals report, they've examined the most recent purchase of gold contracts, paper contracts, with a $3,000 strike price for the year 2015. So, he says, we know that for the first time anyone can remember, the U.S. banks, namely JP Morgan, of course, are net long on COMEX gold futures contracts. And net long to the point of having cornered the paper gold market in New York because the position is so large. I'm talking the extent of 20% of open interest or contracts. And now we're heading into the December delivery period. Again, I think I said this before. When we first learned JP Morgan or whatever big bank, it's either them or HSBC, it's probably JP Morgan, went long on futures contracts. And I said that doesn't mean they can't push the price down a little bit more to start with and then ride it to the top. So that's pretty much exactly what's happened. And I know we just got past the delivery period, or I think it's final. I'm trying to think when the last notice is. It may be the next few days, possibly. And they love to smash the prices on end of the month deliver when first day and last day notice. But we now have some entity out there who has futures contracts, and they're betting that the price of gold is going to be $3,000 sometime. I don't know which month it said, but in the year 2015. And immediately when I see that $3,000 mark, I think of Lindsey Williams. The elite want gold at $3,000, and they want silver somewhere between $75 and $100. That's where they want it, if they can help it. And here it is, someone has purchased 2 years out, well, not quite, but then again, I don't know exactly what month the 2015 contract is. So it's probably roughly a year and a half out into 2015, because again, next month is 2014, so we got a year. It's probably sometime in the middle of 2015, if I had to guess, not sure. Could be towards the end, etc. So somewhere around a year and a half out, someone has bet that there's going to be $1,500 gold. Excuse me, $1,300 gold. Let me try that one more time. $3,000 gold. And that's exactly the price Lindsey Williams said to look for. I mean, exactly the price. Not $3,001 or $2,999. He said $3,000. And here it is, some large entity has purchased futures contracts betting that the price of gold in 2015 will be $3,000. He also said to have all your crap in order, financial stuff, have it all in order before the full implementation of Obamacare, which as it stands right now will not take effect until 2015 by chance, because he's extended the nonsense not having to do it yet for the corporations, businesses. So, and when did he do that? Until 2015. So all I can say is that is an interesting number, and someone is betting while the price is being destroyed right now We're almost touching 1,200 even on gold. Last I checked, I think it was $1,220 something dollars. So don't give up. I don't think I would trust the Bitcoins and the Litecoin, all that stuff, enough to where I would ever sell any silver that I have in order to go basically gamble on cryptocurrencies. I just, and I'm saying that now, of course, knowing that had I done that, just a little while ago, boy, the payoff would have been unbelievable. That's the problem when there's a bubble in something. The payoff is unbelievable. You could have made so much money. Where were you at? Oh, you're still messing with that other stuff, namely silver or gold. Oh, you should have got into this. And then you start thinking, man, I think they were right. Maybe I should have. And then you go and do it. Oh, you got in at the top of the bubble. Now, then it crashes, and then you're really screwed. Because you sold that hard asset known as gold or silver to go gamble on something that you want, that was just so risky, but the reward was so great you wanted to gamble it and try, only to find out you lost. So that's why I'm not ever going to recommend selling gold or silver to do this. I had a guy email me and said that he had like 300 ounces of silver that he was considering selling all of it and investing in one of these coins, namely maybe that new Quark coin. But as you're going to see, probably before you watch this video, the other videos I did last night about Quark coin and why I just can't get into it right now because of one little teeny tiny statistic that I found yesterday that I did not know about when I made the previous video about why it was probably the great coin to get into. I don't feel that way anymore, as I said before, because all of the digital currency that Quark coin has already been printed. They said they're going to print it all in 6 months, or I say print it, but create it all in 6 months. Where other currencies like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Feathercoin aren't doing it in 6 months. It's taking years and years and years before they create all the currency, the digital currency. This person, whoever did Quark coin, blew it all and had it released within 6 months, and it started back in July. So we're at the very end of December when it stops, and not stopped, but all of it has been created. So there's someone sitting on like 76 million, or some people sitting on 276 million Quark coins. Now I can understand why it's only been a penny this whole time and it hasn't moved. I don't think Bill Still knew that. So I'm thinking I may do a video response to Bill Still about Quark coin and let him be his own judge on that. See if I can reach out to him and let him know that, because I don't know if he was aware of that. But don't sell your gold and silver. If you're going to gamble on the side with these cryptocurrencies like I am on the side, and you make out, take some of that cash, all of that cash, whatever you feel comfortable, and then go buy precious metals. Right now, you could look at right now with $20 silver and almost $1,200 gold as Black Friday extended for the wise man. You could be getting gold and silver right now on the cheap. Like I was saying, I had a guy message me asking me, should I sell all my 300 ounces? I said, and he's in a little bit of a predicament where he needs some cash right now. And I said, man, I would not, normally I wouldn't sell any, as I always say, but I said, man, in your case, I don't think I would trust the risk and reward thing, man. I don't think it's worth it to get rid of all of your 300 ounces of silver. I said, honestly, maybe take 50 ounces. Leave yourself with 250 ounces of silver. And just gamble, basically, with 50 ounces of silver. Sell it. And put that into one of these cryptocurrencies. But again, the problem is that, where's the top on this thing? Who's going to be able to call the top on this bubble of cryptocurrency prices? And again, the more I think about these damn things, the more ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous it is when you think about this. Mining, I'm mining digital things on my computer. These little credits are issued to me every time I break the code, and more come online. So, I don't know. The bottom line is, It's working, and it is absolutely making some people very, very rich. That's all I know. And honestly, that's all that matters right now, is that you can make some money in this thing. But don't get too overexcited and just dive in head first and sell off your real assets, gold and silver. You know, they got 6,000 years of history saying that they're money, and you know they're suppressed in price. I just said it, you got some entity out there betting that the price is going to be $3,000 for gold in just 2015. That's right around the corner. For God's sakes, what's silver going to be at when that happens? Probably what Lindsey Williams said, you know, if I had to guess, you know, which is $75 to $100. And, you know, you're looking at $20 silver right now. If it goes to $100, that's 5 times. That's a 500% increase in the price of these things. So, and it's a hard asset. It's not a digital thing on the internet that, you know, you got to trust in this whole system on the internet, and that stuff scares the hell out of me. But again, if there's a reward there and there's always going to be a risk, well, there is always going to be a risk. Sure, play with it. Take some money and make it. Like I said, you could have took $1,000 not that long ago and made yourself hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you would have cashed out on Litecoin and spent $1,000 earlier this year on Litecoin, you'd be sitting on $500,000 right now if you sold when it was 35, 40 bucks or whatever. $500,000 from a $1,000 investment. That's so disturbing, to be honest with you. It's so disturbing to see that could have happened, that it's just mind-boggling. And I understand that that's what's telling people right now, oh my God, I gotta get in this, I gotta get in this. And that's the thing. What if everyone else keeps thinking that? That means that the price is going to probably continue to rise to some extent. What extent, I don't know. So that's why I kind of like mining them myself rather than paying for them right now. Because if they do crash, I didn't just like hurt myself by buying these. Like, it's like buying a stock, you know, bought a stock at, you know, 50 bucks and now it's down to $2. That hurts. That really is painful. But if I'm creating this stock on my computer while it's $50, and then I get enough money to pay back the money it cost me to get my video cards and sell them off, and then I continually mine, and then the price crashes down, doesn't hurt at all. Matter of fact, I just let the things continue to mine. That way, if the price explodes once again in the future, there's another wave of, you know, Bitcoin and Litecoin fury. I've got a bunch of these things sitting in my account, so to speak, on standby. So that's kind of why I did this. And I had a guy actually message me wanting to kind of partner up, where he's like, you know, there's a lot to this stuff. I don't want to mess with it. I'm too busy. It's very tech savvy. I just don't have the time for that. You know, if I basically throw you a couple bucks to get the equipment, can we do like a sharing kind of a thing on what we mine? And I'm like thinking about it, yeah, you know, why not? I've already done it now. I know how to do this. I've already got my own little mining rig set up. So I told him, yeah, I'd do it with him. And so he's gonna send me a couple dollars, and I'm gonna buy the equipment and set up a little mini mining operation, if you will. And I, of course, told him just flat out, you know, this is a risk, and as long as you understand that, fine, you know. And it's not gonna hurt me anything. All I'm gonna do is build the PCs, run them, let them run, you know, at my house basically, and start mining. And we got a little sharing kind of thing going on. So, anyways, this video is really about gold and silver. Do not take your eye off gold and silver for the 2 reasons I just said. Somebody is net long, big time, on the comics paper market, and somebody has purchased the year 2015 futures contracts in gold with a strike price of $3,000. Why they would do that right now, as prices are plummeting? Somebody knows something, and all you have to do is be the fly on the wall, seeing this and taking note that some big entity is doing this, and say, it might be a good idea for me to do it too. I'm J Snip4. Take care.